soccer portion of our conversation. Noahkai Banks is holding out for an opportunity to play for Germany. Won't
Not
be in the
holding
March
out.
camp.
He's just leaning. His
Leaning,
decision is
I
leaning.
guess. Right. I guess it seems that way, right? Because he won't be in the March camp for the U.S. men's national team. And this was something that we had talked about already, but I think what I mentioned when we talked about it the first time around is obviously with him being, coming up in the German school and moving over there early in life, all of his formative memories, as I said, once upon a time, we're all formed in that country. And so coaches and players and friends and other people that he's met along the way that have helped him get to the point to where he is one of the brightest stars in the United States in terms of products that have been born here in the U.S. So I would understand why he would lean that way. But more than that, and I think I missed the more important part of this conversation around Noahkai Banks the first time we talked about it, he wants to be able to compete to win a World Cup. And I get it. I think for someone like Noahkai Banks, if he were to be on the U.S. men's national team, sure. Would he see the field? Would he see the pitch a lot sooner? Absolutely. I think he would automatically become a key cog in the machine that is the U.S. men's national team. And he could be a very important piece for Mauricio Pochettino. However, if you're giving me the choice between Germany and the United States and who do I think I have a better chance of maybe going and winning a World Cup with, it would be Germany. And I can't blame him for feeling that way or leaning that direction. The truth is that winning a World Cup changes everything in your life. I mean, just look at, obviously, Messi. It cemented his legacy. It's something that you'll carry with for the rest of your life. And it's something that, we talk about, there's only been a handful of players that have ever won a World Series or a Super Bowl. Yeah, a very small amount that have ever won those. But talk about a World Cup, it's once every 4 years. I mean, there's even less than that have ever been able to say they've won a World Cup. So if he wants to put himself in the best position to go out and win at that highest level, Germany would be the right decision. And I know I'm an American, and I know I have my biases, and I'd love to see him out there and see him in the red, white, and blue. But if that's the decision, and if that's the reason behind why he would want to go lean that direction and be with the Germans, I completely understand it. I mean, there's a lot. I'm sure there's a lot of an emotional pull to go play for Germany, and I'm sure there's probably layers to that story. But I don't know, Ryan, if I want to go win a World Cup, I'm probably going with the Germans.
To be honest with you, I don't think Germany's winning a World Cup anytime soon. It's going to be like 2034 based on what they got going on. And after the whole, well, again, the only reason how they got even into 2014 and all that was because they missed the Euros. Who was that? That roster was insane. The Muellers are gone. Kimmich is still there. Lahm is gone. Hummels is gone. Klose is gone. Like, all those German players are gone, and now this is like the new age of German soccer, I guess. And if I'm looking at it, Banks probably doesn't even get into the side. I don't even know if he gets into the roster in 2026. I think you're looking at 2030. But this is the point that I've wanted to say, and I didn't know if you were going to say it, is if you have to get recruited to play in again, I get it, the guy was born here, but he was basically raised in Germany. But if you have to get recruited and recruited hard to play in a World Cup that is in your own country, I don't really want you at that point. Like, I think this guy's insane. I've said it from the get-go. Like, this is my guy. Like, he's so good. If him and Richards are our center back pairing for the next decade, I think we can make runs in certain things because two center backs, if you have them, most important there is. But if you have to get recruited to play in a World Cup in your own nation where everyone is there to watch, your home crowd is there, it's a home game for you every single time, I don't really want you, man. Like, I get it. Like, don't get me wrong. I get it of wanting to play for Germany. You lived there your entire life. They're a better nation, obviously, soccer-wise and everything. And there's better players than we have. I get it, and I think Nagelsmann is a really good manager. But if I got to recruit you that hard to bring you to play in your own World Cup in front of your own fans, in front of, your own American citizens, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm like Brad Holmes. We're good. Like, I get it. Like, this guy's, I think he's going to be an unbelievable player. But at the same time, He's still 19, long ways to go, but he's playing in Bundesliga top flight the whole time, and it's
Yep.
unbelievable what he's doing. But I don't know, Nate. If I got to recruit you to do this in your own nation, like that should be the poll in itself. That should be the appeal in itself. You are playing in a World Cup on your home soil. You're playing in a World Cup on your home soil.
Yeah.
This is everyone's
Yeah.
dream. And I got to recruit you hard to defend off another nation after you've represented the U.S. on the youth level all the way up from the U20s, U21s, not even U23s, but the U20s, I should say, and the U17s rather. I'm good, man. Like, I shouldn't have to do this as hard because at the end of the day, what have we said every single time about this current generation of the U.S. men's national team, the Pulisic's, the McKinneys? They don't wear their heart on their sleeve. They don't care that much. They don't all this stuff based on what the Tim Howards, the Clint Dempseys, the Marcus Bealey's, Landon Donovans, they all said it. They care so much for being on the national team. They wanted to be there every single time. And that's not to say that Pulisic, McKennie, and all those guys don't want to be there. I think they certainly want to be there. But it seems like 10 years ago, the team cared and tried a little bit harder. I still think this team is more talented than back then, but just seems to care. And this is something that's going against of what everyone has been saying the last couple of months is this team doesn't care as much as the old generation did. And if I got to recruit you to do this, I'm kind of out. And that's hard for me to say because I really like this guy. I think this kid is special. I think he's an unbelievable talent. I think he's got the physical frame and the physicality and all the intangibles to be an unbelievable center back in the world game. But if I got to do this to bring you into a World Cup when we're hosting it, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah, and let's not forget, this is not the first time that the U.S. men's national team has gone through something like this. Serginho Dest came up playing for all the U.S. youth national teams. There was a huge push from the Netherlands.
Gio Reyna
obviously, we know where. Yeah, but we know where those
Pulisic
where
could have
those
played
guys
for Croatia, if we're being honest.
That's true. Yeah, yes, I didn't even think about that.
He
Yeah,
made a
I mean
World Cup
Croatia's
final in his first World Cup.
Yes,
Instead, he didn't even qualify.
Yeah, so that is you're right, and we know where all those guys ended up. We know the choices that they made, and that was to stick around and play for the U.S. men's national team, right? And so I think for Mauricio Pochettino, it's also like you're like the guy in the friend zone, like you're always sitting around waiting for your opportunity. Maybe you're not going to get it, and maybe he doesn't want it, and so that's something that I think you also have to be willing if you are Mauricio Pochettino to sit back and accept. Like, listen, his heart's not here. We have to focus on the guys that are already in front of us. Because at that point, especially at 19 years old, I mean, that's the other part is like, if I have to try that hard to convince you that you could be a significant part of this squad in a World Cup with the U.S. at just 19, and we talk about, you talked about the new wave of German players. I think they're 10th right now in the FIFA World Rankings, but you could say the same exact thing for the U.S. men's national team. I mean, and look at a lot of the players that we saw in 2022 who were very young. And again, that was the prevailing theme of that team. Now, 4 years later, they have that much more seasoning. They have that much more experience. And so for someone like Noahkai Banks, he could continue to feed that machine. But if he's doing all of this right now, and if in March he doesn't want to be in the camp and he's not going to arrive in the camp, it shows me that there's no real desire, whether or not Germany ends up actually coming out and actually wanting him to be a part of it. Just doesn't really seem like there's much of a desire to be on the team. And I think what's problematic is, does he change his mind a month or two down the line? I don't know if that's going to sit well with USA Soccer. I think right now they're like, well, you got to make a decision. Like, we're ready to build up to the World Cup. We have these huge international windows coming up. We have these, they don't really count for anything necessarily, but they are important games to compete in and to know who we have and to know who we're sending out there. Because even now, the way that we look at it, we have an idea as to who the majority of our 11 is going to be, but even then we still have debates on that. So yeah, it's you can only pull and push and prod and poke so much until the other party has to decide whether or not they're willing to do it. And right now, when you compare it against the likes of Dest and all the other, dual nationals that you were talking about, it's clear where his priorities lie, and it's not with the U.S. men's national team. So, I think that should be pretty clean cut for someone like Mauricio Pochettino to see and just be like, hey, I mean, it is what it is. We move on with the group that we do have, and yeah, we just find a way to go out and compete.
So then the conversation becomes is who's the next center backs? Tim Ream, I don't really want playing. I want him to be on the roster, but I don't want him
Yeah.
playing. I think he's too old.
Yeah.
Then you got to obviously Chris Richards will be anchoring it all. Then you got to think Miles Robinson's got to be in there. Mark McKenzie, Carter Vickers is out. So I'm looking at this, and it's that's not a back line that I can truly get behind. If Banks is there, I get it. 19 years old, but Lamine Yamal was 16 starting in a Euros and won the whole thing. So that age does not truly matter in this whole thing. Mbappe was 18 and scored in a World Cup final. But all I'll say is we need to get another center back, hopefully, because I'm not as confident with the center back pairing of a Chris Richards and a Miles Robinson and Mark McKenzie. Look, we got one of the center backs that I'm truly believing in and can play out of the back because, again, we're obsessed with playing out of the back with our feet with the center backs, and there's no issue with that. But when you don't have the players to do so, I mean, there's no point in doing it. Chris Richards, I'm fine
right
with. He's fine back there. But in terms of, Robinson, McKenzie, haven't seen it. Not super confident yet, but I know Banks can. And so I got to look at this thing, and now we got to see our center backs. And Poch can also be thinking about at the same time of, I got to try super hard to just get this guy to play because this is going to be my only World Cup anyway. This is going to be my only tournament anyway. So it's not like it matters to me and not the future of the men's national team. All that matters to me is this tournament in front of me. This is the contract that I have is get through the World Cup. If I can get through the World Cup, maybe make a little bit of a run, I might be considered a hero, and they might build me a statue or something. But to be honest with you, I think the reason he's trying so hard is because this is his only tournament anyway. It's not like he's getting to a Gold Cup again. It's not like he's getting to a Copa America again. He wants to make sure he's got every bullet in the gun and with this team. He wants to make sure he's got every chance and the best chance that he can have with this team in front of you in 2026 in this summer to do anything. And he wants to make sure he's got the best center backs. The only thing I will say that Poch might be at fault here is instead of looking at a guy like Tristan Blackman, who was an MLS Defender of the Year during some of these camps, why didn't we just call up Noahkai then? Why didn't we choose if the windows didn't matter so much in September, October, November, why didn't we call up Noahkai then? Why didn't we do that then? Why do we have to bring in guys, MLS guys, that aren't going to, elevate us, take us to the next level in terms of the men's national team? Why do we give them a look? Why don't we give Noahkai? Because Noahkai, yes, I get it. He's 19, but he's the type of, again, production potential. That's a big thing. I know that's going on, especially in America. I know Nate's favorite coach, Signetti, says it all the time. But I'm just saying the potential and the production that Noahkai has compared to some of these other players, it's better, man. I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know why we had to waste some of those camps on those type of center backs instead of getting a guy like Noahkai Banks and giving him a chance instead.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Let's take a break here on Inside the Game. When we come back, let's touch on a few comments that we got. I know we've had